All right, so these are the LED bulbs. These are the 194 style socket, you know, bulbs, kind of like your side marker lights, your tag light. That's what they are inside of the cluster. These ones here are for the center HVAC controls. They really suck to put in, but here's where these were ordered from on their business card. There you go. So we're going to get this thing apart. To remove your dash cover, there's a screw here. There's one on the other side. Typically there's one here and one here also. So you want to loosen them. They will pop up. You have to remove, I like pulling this down out of the way just because you can let it lay. You can see this actually goes behind here, and so does this. These just kind of pop off like that. So I'm going to remove both of these, get all of these screws out of the top cover, and we'll get this thing removed. I'll show you what we're doing there, and then we'll get down to getting our bezel. So once I get to that point. All right, so this is held down by push clips. Just kind of like push up a little bit and then run your hand across, and it will actually pick up. And then if you reach in here, you'll see the plug and the line here that comes from the boost gauge. You can disconnect those. Now this should pull out. Sometimes the foam will catch on that stuff in there, and then you have to stick your hand back in to get it out. But that is this part. I'm going to put down the camera. I'm going to lift this part out. Then we'll get down to the next parts for this. So you can access this one. It's in here off this wire. I don't know why somebody extended this at one time. That's not a factory thing, so I might have to address these connection issues here and there. That way I know it's not something that's going to happen. You can get in there with a long pair of needle nose and actually spin that and get it out. Be very careful because those gauge pods break easy. So down here to get the cluster out, it's actually pretty easy. Pop, pop. Now it'll pop in here and here, and you can just lift that out. This here piece, you can just do this and it should tilt down enough. But there's two screws down here. You can move them if you want to, but I should be able to just get these four out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get the cluster out, and then I'll show you what we got to do next. Actually pretty easy. If you look, it says Aluma. Battery? Aluma. They are the illumination for the cluster. So they come right out. That one actually looks like it's kind of spent. Alright. So we'll just take these two out. That way I can show you. That bulb there actually looks good. So what you need to do, let me try to hold this, is you can grab them, pull the bulbs out, okay? Just like that. And you take your replacement, slide it down in here, just like that. And take this, put it in, give it a little turn till it locks, just like that. And that's how you get these bulbs installed. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and then all we have to do basically is we can reinstall this thing and turn it on without having to assemble everything, and we can see what this thing looks like. One right up here. We have, for some reason there's two extra, so I'm going to do the gauge there, and then I don't know, maybe I'll do the high beams because it'll be two more for the turn signals. Or they just gave you some of these for a spare. So I'm going to put these in, and as long as these all function, what I'll probably do is I'll just pop them out, and then I'll pop two of these in just to double check. I've had problems with these in the past, not all being good. So we're just going to put these back in. Like I said, this one had illumination, so we're going to throw all these back in, and then we're going to stick it back in the car, and we're going to turn it on, and we're going to see how blue it is. Installed. I don't know how it's going to be without the hood on here, but let's see what we got. We have LED here, nothing on the top, nothing over here on this side. That's why I said every time I put these LEDs in, I always have problems. So I'm gonna pull this out, and we know we have this one, and the ones on this side are all have an issue. So it could be maybe they need turned around because they're polarized to only work one way. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn these 3 around and try it again. All right, here we go. So that would be this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to do, try to get this to work, is this right here. Okay, I'm just going to pull this out, spin it around, and put it back in. It's DC current. LEDs only flow one way. A bulb flows both ways. So let's pick both of these other ones up, turn these around, install them. Okay, we're going to stick them back in here. We're going to throw it back in and give it another try. So we still have our 2 here. We're missing the one up here, doesn't want to function. This one over here is working, and this one over here on this far end still is not working. So sometimes it's in the placement of turning that, but being that they are factory sockets, this shouldn't be an issue. So back out again, we're going to go. I'm going to try a couple different things to try to get this to work, and I don't know, maybe I'll switch this one over here and see if it'll work here. And then I know I got these 2, so I'll try switching them out with some of the other LEDs. Like I said, these things sometimes are a extreme pain in the butt to get to function. So here we go. Try something else. All right, so I switched a bunch of these out. I spun them around. I tried to feel it, you know, to try to get better connection, and we just did not have any luck getting any of these 4 to light up. So what I have here is 12-volt power pack. We're going to test these things out of circuit to see if they work. Even. Okay, nothing there. I'm sorry, but that will beep. Okay, so that one is functioning. We just can't get connection. All right, we got that one functioning. All right, functioning there. All right, so but like I said, with these connections on here, right down here, maybe I need to flex those up just a little bit and try spinning it in and try it. If not, like I said, I'll have to try spinning it again to get it to make connection. If you look down in here, you can see on the board, that's where it's got to make the connection. So like if it's a bad connection between there and this, sometimes that'll happen. So we're gonna keep trying to make these things work. I think we've had it in and out about 8 times now. So I just, like I said, putting these things in is never an enjoyable thing to me. I know when I pull this bulb out and I put it down in there, the bulb's either good or the bulb's bad. Most of the time you can see when they are blown because they'll get dark. Every once in a while, if you have one like this and you're looking at it through the light, you can tap on it and you'll see the element moving around in there. If that's bad, you know it's bad. And these are they're just 194s. So these are the factory bulbs. One of them failed in, you know, I think this is a 2005. So one of those bulbs failed in 18 years. So I think that's pretty good. You know, we have brand new LEDs that we're trying to put in and they don't even want to light up. So I'm going to bend these here just a little bit up. Okay, very gently. If you don't have a replacement socket and you end up messing this up, you could cause yourself some problems. So very, very gently. All right, there's that one. We'll take this one here. Like I said, bend these up just a little bit to try to help with connection. That one's really up. Try this side. Okay. All right. gonna stick this in and try. If it works, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So we successfully got this side here. We're still missing the center one here that lights up the tops of these. So we'll have to pull this one out and maybe try rotating it around to get our polarization correct. Have it filled in with the blue the whole way across. Like I said, a lot of it is just figuring out the way the polarity has to go, making sure that you have connections off the bottom of those bulb sockets, and just getting them seated in the right way. So it does take some time. It is frustrating, but like I said, I pulled this top off. You can set something under here and just, you know, move this in and out, but it's a whole lot easier like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the screws that hold this in place. I can get this lower part assembled, and then I can work on the socket for up here, which I'll probably install that into the harness, and then I'll test it out, because these are, one's black and one's orange, and on the other one, it's one's black and one's white. So we should be able to get them going the correct way before we have to stick it back in the car. All right, I fixed this wire, soldered it up here. I just put some crimp connectors down here and vacuum sealed them. But with that plugged in, we can turn on our lights. We have a blue LED for our gauge now. So I'm going to reinstall the wiring harness into the gauge, and then we'll get this dash top reinstalled. All right, I'm a little frosty here. Remember what we had? Okay, but we have all our gauge cluster. We have our boost gauge. I'm starting to work on these. If you've ever played with any of these, where's it at? Right here. These are what they look like when you go to replace them. All right, that's a factory bulb. You can see the factory bulb. We have one LED in. I have one down here, and we're not making connection or something. I tried some of the other ones in here, but I didn't get anything to turn on. So I just got done testing them all again. These ones, for these, this is what they look like. Right here. Real pain. Okay, so before the battery died, I was trying to say that these are a real pain in the neck to put in. If you look, they have like a little flathead screwdriver slot here on the back. And they have really small things that catch. Let's see a comparison here on our bulb, our factory bulb. So you can see where the connection is right there. It's kind of just wrapped around, almost looks exactly the same. So I had a couple of these in. I don't know if I have to pop it out and then turn it to try to get your polarization correct, which is quite possibly what my problem is. I can try putting it in and then back it out and then pull it out of the hole and then spin it. But it's really hard on these. When you're trying to reach down in behind here, you can see there's not much room even to fit a small screwdriver. So, who's that? I have a little socket bit that kind of looks like a screwdriver that I was using to be able to get down behind here at this. So I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I find it. Oh, right here. So I have this. I was using this. Then I could reach down in and put it in and like turn it to get it in. This worked fine to get the stock ones out. If you look, there's more of a defined bottom on that one. And this one here, you can see I was trying to get that with that screwdriver and it just did not want to work. That one there is just fine. So, like I said, deeper, more defined, shallower, just a reproduction plastic end here. So they give you some extra ones. Like I said, we have a spare for the cluster here also. So basically, I'm down to trying to get these in. Pain in the butt. Turn them, put them in, turn them, put them in. Hopefully we can get all three of them in, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing with that there too. All right, so ta-da! All right, we got all of them lighting up blue. That's what it looks like right now. As I said, you got to have them polarized correctly. So I just figure pop this in here. You can see. Like I said, I went down from behind and I got this with the screwdriver and that other bit. But that's kind of what it's going to look like. It's really hard now without the knobs on. Especially since, right there. You can kind of see blue coming through. All right, so I wanted to show you more what this looks like when you're outside. So I'm going to be coming through from the back. This is actually the bulb. You can see the bulb right there. And you have to quarter turn it, give it a little push from the front. You know, and they'll fall out. These ones here were really easy to get. Okay, you can see where it contacts. I'm just sticking this back in here because I don't want to lose these bulbs. All right, now here's this one. When you rotate the switch around, let's see if we can do this the right way. Should push this over. Okay, we need to turn that one. Get that pushed over, then you can get access to this one. Now, the other one's here. All right. So what I did was I took a pair of pliers and got one on one side, a pair of small needle nose, and I just twisted that out just by pushing on this. I actually just did it right there with the screwdriver, see? And that allows me to get that bulb out of this bottom one, because it is, you really can't get a straight, you know, you might be able to get it from here with an angle, but there's a lot of stuff in the way when this is actually mounted in the car. So I just found it a little bit easier to do that. I had to take a couple of these out a couple times. This one here was really tough until I got the polarization correct on the LEDs. So I'm just going to finish this up. That'll be all the blue LEDs that we have. Hopefully if you install one of these, you understand the frustration. Like I said, if they don't work, you just have to spin them. That's all you got to do. Thanks for watching. See ya.